The novel coronavirus took us all by surprise, and life as we knew it moved indoors. After last year's India Business Leader Awards, which were held in the realms of the digital world, this year we are back with a bang as we host the awards in the real world.
So, Sumera, a big round of applause, right, for our collective resilience, and thank you to everyone here today who has braved the city traffic and made time to be here with us for this exciting evening. It will definitely be worth it.
Well, for sure. And now, as you all know, undisputed leadership is what we honor year after year at the India Business Leader Awards. Over time, these awards have become India's most coveted platform for honoring exemplary leaders who have been working tirelessly to foster India's growth vision. This year's theme of IBLA is Leaders of Change. And tonight, we will celebrate and felicitate the illustrious and dynamic leaders who have defined change in the new normal.
They aren't just pioneers in their domains. They're stalwarts who accelerated India's economic resurgence. The champions who empowered the entire nation. Let's celebrate these leaders of change. Standard Chartered presents CNBC-TV18 India Business Leader Awards in partnership with Hindustan Times.
Well, before we start with the celebrations tonight, I invite on stage Shireen Bhan, the Managing Editor, CNBC-TV18, to deliver the welcome address and set the ball rolling.
Very, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is truly an honor and a privilege to welcome you all back for the 17th edition of the India Business Leader Awards. After an agonizing 2 years, it feels so good to see all of you together in person as opposed to a virtual screen. I would like to take a minute to express our deepest gratitude to the Honorable Finance Minister, Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman, for giving us her time, support and attention year after year. Ma'am, I know that this is a particularly busy time for you because Parliament is in session, and so I cannot thank you enough on behalf of everyone at CNBC-TV18 for taking time to travel and be with us here today. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, coronavirus, the pandemic, has placed extraordinary demands on leaders. However, with true grit and an undying spirit of not to falter, resilient leaders and organizations have outperformed by remaining flexible and adapting to the crisis at a fast pace. And today we are in the august company of eminent leaders and policymakers who've not just weathered the storm, but have also emerged stronger. We applaud your resilience, your ingenuity, and your can-do spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all our nominees and our winners here this evening. I've always been a bit apprehensive talking about the milestones that we have marked at Network 18. As the daughter of a fighter pilot, I've always been taught to focus on the job at hand and to strive for excellence every day and let the actions speak. But today is a special moment for all of us, and so I would seek your indulgence for just a minute as I share some of our most memorable moments of this past year, which has been an excruciatingly challenging year. As India's largest media conglomerate, Network 18's bouquet of business platforms led by our premier business news channel, CNBC-TV18, we've tirelessly tracked and tried to make sense of the fast-changing developments and what they mean for India specifically and for the world in general. I'm proud to say that our wonderful team at CNBC-TV18 has worked through the pandemic on ground, in office and at home, delivering high-quality programming without even a single minute of downtime. And I'm proud to say that 20 years of our dominance remains unshakable, with CNBC-TV18 clocking a towering 90% plus share during market hours, week after week, as per the latest BARC data. This, ladies and gentlemen, as you can imagine, is no small feat. And it's not just CNBC-TV18. Network 18's business news website, Moneycontrol, has created a new milestone with its subscription app having crossed 5 lakh paid users, beating the Economic Times in time spent, making it one of the biggest publications globally. With the collective power of CNBC-TV18, CNBC Digital, CNBC Awaaz, Forbes India Digital, and Moneycontrol.com, we stand today as the biggest business media destination across print, TV, digital, and social media. But as a responsible media conglomerate, Network 18 has also taken the lead in championing causes that deserve attention and deserve action. So at the peak of the pandemic, we launched a massive campaign to create awareness around vaccination with the launch of Sanjeevani, a shot of life. A Network 18 and Federal Bank initiative, we joined hands to create India's biggest campaign for vaccine awareness with a special focus on the 5 worst COVID-hit districts in the country. Tika Laga became our anthem and our call to action. We also launched Mission Pani in association with Harpic India, a path-breaking effort to mobilize citizens' participation to promote water conservation. We were, ladies and gentlemen, honored with the prestigious National Water Award 2020 announced by the Ministry of Jal Shakti and presented by the Honorable President of India just a few days ago. Gender equality is close to our hearts, and so we launched Period of Pride in partnership with P&G to bring menstrual hygiene and management to the forefront and normalize conversations about period. This initiative has garnered massive support from multiple states and has won us many accolades. Baiju's Young Genius, a News 18 initiative, a show with the aim to discover young prodigies from across India, recently won the award for the Best Children's Program at the Asian Television Awards 2021. There were many other campaigns that we championed to turn the spotlight on issues that should matter to us as a society and as a nation. And in keeping with that spirit, and taking a cue from you, Finance Minister, because your budget speech went somewhere boldly and bravely, it addressed the issue of mental well-being and mental health. And CNBC-TV18 today, ma'am, is proud to announce the launch of our new campaign, Mind Matters, an invitation to well-being, in partnership with the Live, Love, Laugh Foundation, started by actor Deepika Padukone. With the support of Olympic gold medalist Abhinav Bindra, we will address a complex issue with sensitivity, create awareness, and eliminate stigma. Take a look.
In 2018, Indians were found to be one of the largest populations suffering from mental illness in the world. The COVID-19 pandemic triggered a 25% increase in the prevalence of anxiety and depression worldwide.
The pandemic has accentuated mental health problems in people of all ages. To better the access to quality mental health counseling and care services, a national tele-mental health program will be launched.
When you talk about mental health, it touches everyone. There's just so much that we as leaders can do. You talking about it, me talking about it, I hope, that our position gives us, where people say, well, if he's got issues, then maybe it's okay that I do. And that, to me, is the biggest gift.
With the sole purpose of providing support, bringing awareness, helping eliminate stigmas, and starting actionable conversations, CNBC-TV18 showcases real stories of people who faced mental health issues in its new show, Mind Matters, an invitation to well-being. The series shines a spotlight on the challenging mental health issues facing us today.
But it was ironic that when I had my greatest success in life, it was also my biggest crisis. I was just completely flat, just not motivated, struggling to keep a smile on my face. Is when I realized that something was wrong and that I needed to seek help.
Depression and anxiety, although it extracts so much damage and causes so much suffering, unfortunately, all too often people just put up with it. And day by day, month by month, they suffer. And it is unfortunate because that suffering can be averted by awareness and treatment.
Everyone within the ecosystem contributing and investing in mental health. That is really what I see as the roadmap for the years ahead.
Let's see mental health for what it is. Because talking about it helps you cope and accepting it helps you grow. Mind Matters, an invitation to well-being.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is our latest passion project, and I do hope that we will enjoy your support for this as well. I would like to take a minute to thank Zareen Daruwala and the entire team at Standard Chartered. India Business Leader Awards could not have been done without you, Zareen, and to the team at Standard Chartered, many, many thanks for your support. And I'll end with the words of the Dalai Lama. There are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday and the other is called tomorrow. So today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you once again for being here with us for the India Business Leader Awards. And it is my great honor and privilege to welcome on stage the Honorable Finance Minister, Ms. Nirmala Sitharaman, who has kindly agreed to join us for the IBLA Town Hall. Ma'am, can I request you to please join us on stage? And as is tradition here at India Business Leader Awards, when we have the Finance Minister and a captive audience, we always give the opportunity to the CEOs who are present here to engage in a brainstorming session, in a dialogue with the Finance Minister. The IBLA Town Hall has now become tradition at the India Business Leader Awards, and so we look forward to hearing from you. But I'm going to get the first question in, Finance Minister. We are quite literally at the start of a new financial year. Today is the 1st of April. So as you look at the many variables that you will have to factor in and consider, both domestically as well as globally, do you walk into the new year with confidence, with cautious optimism, or nervousness?
Cautious optimism. I would have loved to say I'm walking with confidence because the response that the Indian people have shown for the last 1 year for the various developments, the policy initiatives, and also the challenges which they are facing in the ground is been phenomenal. I don't think I'll have enough words to appreciate the energy with which people have taken the challenges, faced it, and also found solutions to come out of it. The government, of course, has done some bit. It can do a lot more. We will keep the pace up and we'll keep responding. But it is to the credit of the people of India for showing that grit to come out of this kind of a situation. And why do I say come out? I'm not saying it with a sense of a false sense of confidence or anything, but look at the numbers. I couldn't have started this year with a better number in the GST collection, 142, 100. It is not something which and it has nothing to do with people going and collecting GST, as you know, is all in the system. Everybody does their bit and the trickles add up to a big number. So also the advance collections which are happening of tax. I could have always said, oh, I'm very confident I'm moving. So there are enough reasons for me to say the Indian economy is doing well. So I'm entering into this new financial year with a sense of confidence. But equally, all of you all know, and all of us are seized of the realities because of the Russia-Ukraine situation, because of the drop in the supply of natural gas, also the fuel, energy, security-related issues, and therefore there are challenges. But yet I'm optimistic. So cautious optimism.
Well, that's good to hear, ma'am, and I completely understand why you chose cautious optimism, because there are many factors that are not in our control, albeit on the domestic front things are looking much better. You addressed the Russia-Ukraine crisis at this point in time and the impact that's having on commodities, oil prices, metals, etc. Let me address that issue with you, ma'am. There are reports which suggest that Russia has offered deep discounts if India were to buy oil from Russia. We have, of course, in the past bought oil. It's a minuscule amount that we have. We've also had the rupee-ruble mechanism in place, so that's not as big a challenge. But given the geopolitical alignments, do you believe that that is an option that we are considering, we are likely to go through with?
Well, it's gone through. We've started buying. We've received at least quite a number of barrels. I would think about 3-4 days supply. And this will continue. And India's overall interest is what is kept in mind. And I don't think, and I think at least as much as I know, myself and Jaishankar have both explained our position very clearly. Jaishankar in forums outside of the country, and I've done it here. I would put my country's national interest first, and I would put my energy security first. And if there are, first of all, fuel available and available at a discount, why shouldn't I buy it? I need it for my people. So we have already started purchasing.
Okay, that's that. So you already started purchasing, and you're saying that the pipeline of purchase will continue. That's very, very clear.
And how the pipeline will spread and other things, the nitty-gritty of it, Minister Hardeep Puri will keep managing.
And the mechanism also, ma'am, has that been decided
Otherwise,
upon?
I wouldn't have got the consent.
Okay. So let's leave oil aside. Let's talk about some of the other commodities, which is a concern here in India, metal prices specifically. How worried are you about the impact of that on the larger economy?
I won't say I'm worried, but I'm taking cognizance of these developments and making enough provisioning for myself to meet up with any contingency. Whoever thought during the COVID, when we are making contingency provisions for meeting the vaccination requirement, we also had to, and we didn't know it, but when it came, we had to meet it, was the fertilizer price shooting through the sky. And we had to still import it. And as I've said it in several places, farmers are not the people to whom we will like to shift the burden, so obviously the government took the hit. And rightly so, because we couldn't have burdened the farmers at all. So that kind of unexpected, however much you are watching the entire futures market and other things, there are still times when it can go unexpectedly in a different direction. So we are taking that into cognizance. I'm not letting that worry me, but I'm making sure that I'll be ready for it.
So what are the challenges? We've talked about two specific ones that are weighing on your mind today as finance minister, which force you to be in the cautiously optimistic camp, besides these two that we've already discussed.
Well, first of all, I think we've got to honor all the commitments we've made, particularly climate change is a big issue. It's not because India has made a commitment we'll have to, align with it and also fulfill the commitment. But climate change is an issue which you'll anyway will have to be conscious of. And if your fossil fuel dependence is so high, there has been a clear intention of the government, commitment made by the government, and in the interest of the Indian people, we have to move from fossil fuel into renewable energy. And that is why you saw the success and continuing success in, let us say, solar. We are also looking at improving on your hydel capacity, bring in nuclear energy and so on. But at this time when the transition was to happen, many countries like us planned for moving over to using natural gas and then moving over to renewable energy in complete, like the solar, wind and so on. But the transition arrangement which you want to do with natural gas is now facing a challenge in that the supplies are lesser, the cost is spiking up. So how are we going to have natural gas as a substitute? Are we then going to have to fall back on coal back again? So what is that dependence? And that's not just India. Many countries have started realigning their priorities in spite of feeling the heat of the climate change issues. I think I have conversations with, say, my counterpart in Indonesia, who's also incidentally the chair for G20. And Indonesia, incidentally, had made an announcement, I think, saying they would now be moving away from coal and looking at many other. But even they are now talking about how would they manage it. And I think it's also a reality that supplies which were going to China or supplies which were going from Australia to China of coal are no longer going to go from Australia, but will it then go from Indonesia? These are things which constantly the ministry is viewing, assessing, and making sure that India's commitments, in India's own interest, after all, their nationally determined commitments, are going to be fulfilled, but yet, how do you do it? At what cost would you do it? Yeah. These are issues which are in our mind. That is one of the challenges. Second, of course, is the issue of metals, also some sulfates. All are now being at some price which you couldn't have factored in at all. But yet we'll have to be prepared for it. And they don't seem to be showing any signs of coming down in the near future. So these are challenges which we'll have to face this time.
So let me then ask you about the road ahead. You, of course, just presented the budget, so I won't go down to the announcements that you made in the budget, but something that was not in the budget because it's not part of the budget agenda, the GST, and the expectation on whether we are now likely to move towards a three-tiered GST structure. Can we expect any significant rate rationalization? The BOMAI committee is perhaps getting ready to present its report to the GST Council. What should we expect on the GST roadmap from here on?
No, first of all, I would, whilst the exercise going on with the chairman BOMAI committee, the Chief Minister of Karnataka, we'll look forward to having that report and study it and so on. But I think the first thing that we have to recognize is we need to have a stable regime. We'll have to have a regime which is equally going to be efficient. We've shown that if we are able to use data, you're able to better utilize artificial intelligence and tracking of data on the system, even without a personal intervention. You're able to identify where the loopholes are. And they're not small pinpricks of loopholes. They're major loopholes. And it is that in the last 1 year we've repeatedly shown, much against so much which gets covered in the media, that you've gone to this person, you've gone to that person. It's not the person which matters to me. The system has flagged a chain of destinations where money trail equally establishes itself for claiming refunds, where there is no deserving refund to be given. So we plugged it all. And in some, of course, criminal action has also been taken. So first of all, efficiencies will have to be brought in the system. And through that, if we are able to stabilize a reasonable collection, which itself is going to make states feel, right, I'm getting my revenue. In the sense, there are some states which have told me, we'll reach the 14% collection ourselves, so we may not even be entitled to compensation, because that is only when the collection is not up to 14, and after that you'll have to look at the gap and fill the gap. So there are states which are showing super efficiency in the last 1 year. I really credit them for the efforts that they've made. So the collection is also because of the efficiency in the ground, and equally because we are plugging the loopholes. So long and short of it, I want stability in the system, a level of predictability saying this much will probably get connected. And three, is it the best time for rationalizing the rate? Technically, purists would say yes, it's been waiting for long. Even I will say, if I look at the number, where was 15% neutral rate, and where is it now at 11%? So you've actually very much brought it down to not a revenue neutral rate, far away from it. So there is every reason to raise it up. But I'm not saying, I hope that tomorrow's headline is, Finance Minister says she's going to raise it. No, please, I'm not saying, I'm openly discussing the matter. It is for the council also to look at things. But therefore, there is reason for rationalization of the rates. and therefore the committee. And therefore we'll wait for the report. But equally, stability, predictability, efficiency on the other side. With that itself, we probably can generate better resources. We'll work on that as well.
Let me ask you about one of the budget promises, ma'am, which was a commitment in the previous budget, and I'm just trying to understand from you the legislative agenda and the path forward. This session ends in the next week. In the next session, should we expect things like the legislative changes to pave the way for bank privatization or the cryptocurrency legislation? Is that a...
Only these two things are coming in your mind. You can ask me many more. There are many more things to do and we'll carry it forward.
Okay, so it's likely to be or not likely to be?
No, these are commitments which we'll have to fulfill. We'll be moving forward.
Okay.
And I'm sure you're tempted to ask me when, but you'll get to know when.
Okay, all right. Let me throw it open to the IBLA town hall now. Mr. Kotak, I'm going to give you the first shot, sir. The microphone is right there on your table.
Ma'am, if you had the advantage of knowing the Russia-Ukraine crisis, what would you have done differently in the budget?
It has to be Uday, right? And it has to be a tough question from him. I wished I was a Jyotish, first of all, to have known Russia and Ukraine will go through. But I think I would have ensured that all the wheat is sold well in time, exported it. I would have ensured that I had all the sunflower, which is blooming anywhere in the world, brought to India so that I'm not a deficit on edible oil. I would have ensured, first of all, much before wheat and sunflower, I got all my students out. Every student out. At least 3 I've listed.
Sanjeev Mehta.
Good evening, ma'am. I'll build on Uday's question. You know, when you built the budget, this was unforeseen, the Ukraine-Russia crisis. How would you now adjust the sales?
No, first of all, I think you're right to ask that question. But I've been asked this question now, particularly because everyone is under the impression that particularly on the oil price, there was an amount presumed in the budget, and therefore now it's far higher than that. Somebody did say it's about 75 that we had presumed, whereas it's now gone to 118, 120 and so on. No such assumption was made in the budget. It was the economic survey which had such assumption. So does that mean that I don't want to review? No, we don't do, and this is what I said also in the Rajya Sabha. Review of what is presented in the budget doesn't happen every week, every month, like the way we look at, exchange rate, fuel price, crude, Brent. We don't do the budget like that. It takes a large 1-year canvas, and before the canvas is where you start plugging, the red flags and green flags and start working on it. So I've just sort of notified the budget. Today is the first day of the financial year. No review. No review yet. No review sooner.
No review yet. No review sooner. That's the unequivocal message there from the Finance Minister. Anish Shah, you've got the microphone right there. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Good evening, ma'am. We are actually cautiously optimistic as well. And we see India positioned very well today, continuing with the investments we've planned. There is a silver lining to this crisis right now, which is the opportunity to export food grains in a much greater way. But this will require a number of ecosystems to work together. Credit flow to farmers, supply chains, infrastructure. How can we partner together with the government and some of the companies that have spaces in this ecosystem to really move forward much faster to be able to get to the 1 trillion goal that you set?
The first thing I would suggest is if you have a set of ideas, you should just send a mail over to the Commerce Ministry or to me or to the PM's Economic Advisory. And one of us will come back to you to say, all right, we want you to be here, we want you to be there, and give us greater coordination, greater traction and so on. Just put it all in a one-page note, send it to anyone who you choose, and then I'm sure you'll get a response back. And we'll value the participation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Subramaniam, the mic right behind you, sir.
I'll make the question very simple for you. We survived because of you, because of the lovely infrastructure budget that has been there for the last 3-4 years. I hope what you announced in the budget, you'll continue with that.
As I said, there's no review.
Yes, she made that very clear. There's no review. Sanjeev Bajaj.
Ma'am, over the last few years, it's really the government that has been supporting the economy with the continuous investment in infrastructure and allied services. And each time you have met a gathering like this, you have asked industry, private sector industry, that it's time now to unleash, invest. Unfortunately, each time we try to do that, some external event comes where we need to rethink again. So if we go beyond a year or two, most of us over here think we have a very bright future as a country. What would be your message to India Inc., not from a year or 2 years point of view, but say from a 5, 7, 8 years point of view, with respect to investment, growth, anything on your mind?
You know, actually, I'm not making the commercial decisions. It's you who are making it. But I think, look at the way you have made the decisions now to prove exports will not sit back and watch the situation. We'll get going, we'll be exporting. Exports are happening in a big way, otherwise we wouldn't have reached the target even 20 days or 10 days before the deadline date. So you're actually doing it. And if you don't mind me taking a bit of a liberty to say, most of us are doing probably everything that it takes to improve our own businesses and, therefore perform. But collectively, when we sit together, we think, what is it that which is missing? Why are we not able to? I mean, come on. I give it to your credit. 400 billion you could reach exports. It's you. You're believing in your business, you're believing in your own abilities, you've performed individually. But collectively, there's something which makes you think like Hanumanji. I can't cross the ocean and go to Sri Lanka, Lanka of those days. I can't. And somebody had to tell Hanumanji, hey, you have it in you. So I think Indian industry is, who could have achieved in this kind of a pandemic environment where everybody in the Indian economy was saying policies are tight, regulation is haphazard, banks are not giving money, and at this time container shortage, chip shortage, shipping liners are not available. Would you have done about 10 programs in the last 1 year on these topics?
Yeah.
But in spite of that, look at the target reached by the exporters.
Yeah.
So I think there should be a Shireen Barnes sitting next to Hanumanji and say, hey, you're doing it, believe in yourself. You should do more programs on that now.
Okay, we will, ma'am, we will. Zareen. If you can just pass the mic, please.
Ma'am, you mentioned about oilseeds with the India-Ukraine crisis. I guess that sort of accelerates the need to be Atmanirbhar in oilseeds. And government has done few steps, but I guess it's mission mode now that we have to do in the oilseeds. So your insights on how we are planning to accelerate the whole Atmanirbharta in oilseeds?
In fact, about 3-4 years ago, it started on oilseeds. And the farmers were told that they will be given a bonus, also some incentives if they shifted from, paddy, wheat, and move into oilseeds. And that particular year, there was definitely a big difference. Like the year before that for pulses, we in fact grew enough pulses that our imports were to be contained. We didn't need the imports. In fact, that led to an international bilateral kind of an issue with Canada. They said we had already had our farmers growing pulses, and now you're saying you have enough, what will happen to our farmers, and so on. So both for pulses and oilseeds, I distinctly remember PM saying, get the groups to me, I want to talk to them, let's understand what kind of incentives will make them move. There were subsequently also procurement-related glitches which made farmers feel, no, we are put to the raw end of the things. But I think largely both for pulses and oilseeds, we've learnt our lessons. And if you notice, there has been in the last 1 year an attempt to get a lot more palm oil grown in Northeast. And that's been given a lot of incentive, which is, it's going to take them nearly 5 to 6 years gestation for them to yield. Till then, the farmers are being supported, like the way we did on the rubber. We wanted more rubber to be grown, natural rubber to be grown in the Northeast. We gave them incentives. Even rubber takes about 6 to 7 years gestation. So that's one. Second, we, last couple of days ago, for extending acreages under sunflower, Agriculture Minister himself had called representatives from more than about 5-6 states, I think, which have the potential to grow sunflower, and has already worked out something, so sunflower in particular. Groundnut, anyway, there's an incentive, and also pushing, groundnut incidentally in state of Gujarat gets a minimum support price. And many other procurement arrangements are also made there. Till, mustard, rapeseed, and also one more from the south. And also some regions which are growing rice bran. Rice bran till today fetches better price when you export rather than in India. For some reason, Indians were not buying it, although it is a very healthy option. So rice bran is also getting incentive. So there are, I think, very detailed working out happening in the Agriculture Ministry. The oilseeds has a separate cell which is following it up. We are moving ahead for Atmanirbharta in edible oils.
Well, that's great to hear, ma'am. Ms. Bhattacharya.
Good evening, ma'am. Ma'am, one thing that surprises me now that I've moved into the IT sector is that if you look at digitization world over, Indians out of India are actually doing 30 to 35% of the global implementations. And that is one of the reasons why your exports are showing great numbers, because much of it is services export, software services export. But when you look at the survey regarding Indian industry, especially legacy industry, we are laggards there. So we have the talent, we have the knowledge, we do it for the world, but we are not doing it for ourselves. Is there anything that the government is doing in order to create an ecosystem so that there is better digitization, especially for legacy industries and especially for the public sector?
Well, the fact that we recognize service as a software as a service, SaaS, is because we want to make sure that itself gets the focus and the attention which is so required. I'm at least talking to the banks, you are there, you've been there, to make sure that each one had their own. We want a system where each talks to the other, so that the client at the end of the day should be able to say, right, I get the benefit of digitization, not in a silo, but it should be. In fact, yesterday when I met the foreign minister of UK, I did mention this as one of the things, because I did ask her if they knew, in the context of digital payment, SWIFT and so on, she did remind me saying SWIFT is Belgian, not so much British. The conversation went on this kind of a track where I did say, all right, I'm not here to decide who you'll have sanction put against. And in that, SWIFT could also be one of the things. But did you work out unintended consequences which might hurt people who are into SWIFT, but who have nothing to do with the conflict? Because in the last couple of decades, whether it's financial sector or any other, the emphasis has been on greater deepening of the global value chain linkages. And in every sector we tried saying we should have a global value chain built across the world, and you should have it. Now, if after tempting people to go into it, and rightly, nicely, suddenly sanctions happen in one end of the world, I'm sure like a billiards table, you'll have one ball going somewhere this side. I did raise this issue, and therefore I said, for a country like India, which has shown absolutely fantastic success in UPI and the payments, domain as it were, wouldn't it be better to have UPI-like system talking to another system like the SWIFT, so that we wouldn't have the rough edge of an unintended, stroke hitting us. So these are matters will have to be looked at with greater current day's challenge in mind so that we are ready for future.
Well, I know that we could have continued with this conversation, but
giving you long answers.
No.
Sorry
But I know that you also have limited time, though. The audience here is very keen that you spend more time in Mumbai. So we hope that we will be able to bring you back. So let me end then by asking you, since we are at the start of the new financial year, you laid out the challenges that you see on the radar. But in terms of opportunity and priorities, what is it that you are going to go after? What is it that you will chase?
My priority is still infrastructure, public expenditure on infrastructure, meeting the target of 7.53, which I have declared in the budget, ensuring the states get their share of the infrastructure outlay. That will be the first priority, and I'll be at it. That's the first thing, if I can say. But the second, I think I'll go around the world, go around the country, not just Mumbai, to meet up with the industry and say, one thing, which in 2019, I was repeatedly asked, it's all right, there's no credit in the market, engine is only one in the place of 4. The 3 other engines are lying dormant. That situation probably improved during the pandemic 2021, and people started saying it's all right, probably 2 engines are moving, but what about the other 2? Now, I can say 3 engines are moving, C, G, X minus M, and the last one is the only one on which I expect private industries' investments to come through. Then India will move on all the 4 engines. We just need that push, and that is not because it's not happening. Collectively, that sense of telling each other, it's happening, we are moving forward, and that psychological boost. I take that repeated example of Hanumanji. Each one of you all have got it in you. You're performing. But when you sit together, you say, "Arey bhaiya, kya ho rahi hai? Risk hai ji. Is saal to nahi ho payega." Nahi, already ho chuka hai. Aap usko aage badhane ke liye aapka kadam uthaiye.
That's a clear message, India Inc. I hope you're listening to what the Finance Minister has to say. I want to end by asking you about something that is very close to my heart, and you made that announcement in the budget, which came as a very positive surprise because no finance minister has ever in a budget speech addressed the issue of mental health and mental well-being. Why? Why did you bring this up?
Because I think repeatedly we've been hearing during the pandemic, children missing out on schools, adults not being able to speak about the stress and the depression they went through, whether affected by COVID or not personally, but someone next to them, their parents, their relatives, there's somebody, was too often heard. It wasn't as if somebody was making it up. And you could see that this is becoming more a talk with a sense of hopelessness because they thought, who is ever going to talk about it? And if you don't talk about it, like the way you said in your documentary, nobody's going to address it. So then I had a little discussion with the Health Ministry. Then when the budget details were taken to the Prime Minister, it was felt that that's the right thing to do and we should do. If not, now you'll never be able to do it. And therefore we did it.
Well, I think that deserves a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. As I said, it has never been addressed, certainly not in a budget speech. And congratulations, ma'am. And thank you very, very much for joining us here at the India Business Leader Awards. You've done it year after year, and we truly appreciate your time and your support. Sonia and Sumaira, let's get the award started.
Thank you so much. Ms. Sitaraman, if I can request you to please stay back on stage, ma'am. We'll have with us the set of awards now to present. And a quick reminder for our audience, the hashtag for tonight's event is Leaders of Change. So I request you to use this to post your comments across social media through the evening. And do remember to tag CNBC-TV18 as well.
Okay, without further ado, let's get started with the first set of awards this evening. To present the first set of awards, I would like to invite on stage Lata Venkatesh, the Executive Editor of CNBC-TV18, and Mr. Dinesh Khara, the Chairman of SBI, to join the Finance Minister on stage. And our first award for the evening, ladies and gentlemen, is the Young Turks Startup of the Year. Let's take a look at the nominees.
In the category Young Turks Startup of the Year, and the nominees are Mama Earth, Inframarket, Acco, Apna.
Well, that's quite the lineup of nominees, and now let's find out the winner of this year's Young Turks Startup of the Year award.
India's first unicorn of 2022 is a little different from its billion-dollar peers. It's profitable. Since its inception in 2016, Mama Earth shows no sign of slowing down. What was born out of a personal felt need,
I've always believed that it is better to do rather than think, and we take ideas and put them into execution in the finest way possible, and that's really our strongest strength.
is now the choice of over 5 million customers in 1,000 Indian cities. And it is evolving rapidly. What started as a baby parent-centered business is now the buzzword in personal care for Indian millennials.
We love to create, we love to build new things, and that's what we've been doing. We've been trying to create new brands, and we've been trying to create new products which serve consumers' needs, and that's been a driving force for us.
A purpose-led digital-first brand, Mama Earth's toxin-free products feature cutting-edge scientific innovations for leading the march of unicorns in a post-pandemic era, and for putting the care into personal care with a commitment to goodness. CNBC-TV18 India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the Young Turks Startup of the Year Award to Mama Earth.
Can we have a big round of applause for Mama Earth? To receive the award, please welcome on stage the co-founder of Mama Earth, Ghazal Alak.
Ghazal, one word. One word. When are you coming to the market? We want to call you as a listed stock.
Very soon. Stay tuned.
There are plenty of snaps being taken. Yeah, we'll send it to you. Oh, sure.
Ghazal, I hope you'll use the hashtag Leaders of Change.
We'll send you ours anyway.
Congratulations.
And thank you, Mr. Khara. Now I would like to invite Arundhati Bhattacharya, the Chairman and CEO of Salesforce India, on stage to join us in presenting the next award. So continuing with our spotlight on the young and promising entrepreneurs of India, our next award tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the Young Turk of the Year. Take a look at the nominees.
In the category Young Turk of the Year, and the nominees are Licious, Farm Easy, Upgrad, The Good Glam Group.
And the winner for the Young Turk of the Year award goes to...
For a civilization with a glorious history of healthcare, India's health divide is a glaring inconsistency. But that is changing rapidly.
नहीं है पेशेंट की जो जर्नी है पेशेंट लाइफ साइकिल है वो हम इजी करना चाहते हैं
By leveraging technology with a digital platform,
we are all extremely innovative and extremely capable of getting great things done if we use technology to its maximum potential.
Farm Easy is putting health in India's hands by bridging the gaps in existing infrastructure.
Clearly, प्रॉब्लम बहुत बड़ा है जो लोग फेस कर रहे थे जब हम एक सॉल्यूशन लेकर आए तो लोग यूज़ करने लगे
India's largest online pharmacy is transforming the healthcare industry.
हम डॉक्टर्स और फार्मेसीज और पेशेंट्स सबको एक डिजिटल नेटवर्क में कनेक्ट करना चाहते हैं
By shrinking the vastness of India.
इंडिया के हर एक पिन कोड में डिलीवरी करते हैं
They're expanding the health and wealth of the nation.
Our year-on-year growth has been करीब 300%.
For being a force multiplier and for creating a healthier, happier India. CNBC-TV18, India Business Leader Awards, proudly presents the Young Turk of the Year Award to Farm Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the winner, Farm Easy. And coming on stage to receive the award is the co-founder of Farm Easy, Dhaval Shah.
So Thyrocare is done. What next?
We're just waiting for the IPO, but as I said, only and only after MAM. So after LIC, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Congratulations and thank you so much, Ms. Bhattacharya, for doing the honors.
Actually, Sumaira, since Shireen didn't ask that question, probably not to embarrass the finance minister, but he's already put the question, when LIC?
Well, first of all, I didn't realize LIC is going to do so much more than just getting, the IPO through. So LIC IPO will happen. But then there are other things which are dependent on it. Very interesting. Very interesting.
All right, with that, let's invite Ms. Zareen Daruwala on stage, Cluster CEO, India and South Asia Market, Standard Chartered Bank, to now join our presenters to give away the next set of awards.
All right, without wasting any time, our next award for the evening is the Most Promising Company of the Year. And the nominees are...
In the category Most Promising Company of the Year, and the nominees are ICICI Lombard, Indian Energy Exchange, Intellect Design, L&T Technology.
And now let's find out who the winner of the Most Promising Company of the Year award goes to.
They say access to power will take you places. But for one company, granting people access to power is taking them places.
Team IEX ensured 24/7 operation of the exchange. Not only that, we also introduced a couple of new products in the market.
Indian Energy Exchange has been helping India realize its electrifying potential by bridging gaps in power transmission, generation, supply and demand. With a steady runway for growth, IEX is turbocharging India's rapidly developing energy sector.
Battery storage, fuel cells, green hydrogen and electric vehicles, charging infrastructure and many more things are happening in the sector. These are all going to disrupt the sector.
With a host of innovative products and state-of-the-art trading technology, IEX's clientele and profile is on the rise. And their ambition isn't just encouraging, it's empowering.
The energy sector is undergoing significant transformation led by large renewable capacity addition, energy storage system coming up in a new way, big way.
For becoming a power player in India's superpower future and for energizing and enabling India's power sector, CNBC-TV18 India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the Most Promising Company of the Year Award to Indian Energy Exchange.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the winner, Indian Energy Exchange. And to receive the award, please welcome S.N. Goyal, Chairman and MD, Indian Energy Exchange.
Mr. Goyal, power is done. What next?
We are creating similar kind of institution in the gas sector now. Yes. We are working on that and creating many more such platforms in the energy sector.
Congratulations, sir.
So we've had a lot of exciting moments this evening already. If you are using any of the images on social media or quotes, I do urge you to use a hashtag Leaders of Change. But with that, let's get on to the next category for the evening, the Disruptors. And nominees in this category have innovated, they've pushed boundaries and disrupted businesses in their respective sectors. Let's take a look.
In the category, the Disruptors, and the nominees are Nykaa, Byju's, Freshworks, PhonePe.
Well, no prizes for guessing this one. The winner of the Disruptors is...
How does a fledgling startup become India's largest online beauty and wellness marketplace? How does a 10-year-old business become one of India's most valued companies? It all starts with the courage to dream big.
One has to break all stereotypes, including gender stereotypes.
Since launching in 2012, this company didn't just want to swim in the seas of the beauty industry. They didn't just want to turn the tide. They wanted to create a new wave. When the company was listed on the Indian Stock Exchange, it debuted with a market capitalization of 1 lakh crore rupees.
I think they are entrusting us with continued growth, continued new customer acquisition that we'll be focused on, but with a financial discipline that we've always delivered in the past.
This beauty-focused retail business has been a runaway success. Nykaa stores exist across the length and breadth of India.
So we are quite excited. Now has stores in 40 cities, including Bareilly's and Jammu, and name the smaller cities, and we have our stores now.
And they deliver beauty and fashion to doorsteps nationwide for being a game changer in the wellness and fashion space, and for literally bringing beauty to every Indian's fingertips. CNBC-TV18 India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the Disruptors of the Year Award to Nykaa.
Ladies and gentlemen, someone who needs no introduction, please put your hands together to Falguni Nair, the founder of Nykaa, to receive the award.
That's 1 lakh crore created practically overnight. I mean, in terms of market cap. Well, Falguni, you know, I've always interviewed you as a banker. What do you miss in finance?
I definitely miss watching markets every day. I don't have any use for it now. So yeah, I definitely miss markets, but I love what I do with Nykaa and the industry. I love the beauty industry. I love the fashion industry. I love working with young consumers, all the millennials. Started with women, but now, of course, we are hoping we have equal support from men. So yeah, I love what I do, and I don't regret missing what I miss.
No one is. Congratulations.
Congratulations, and now CNBC-TV18 is proud to felicitate a leader par excellence who has led by example and set the bar high for those within and outside his industry. True leaders who dedicate their lives to building institutions that redefine stewardship. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about the next award for the evening, the Lifetime Achievement Award. And the winner is...
India is a land of a million colors. But one Indian knew color better than anyone else, and his career became a palette of perfection.
These are times where consumer is the king, and continuous innovation will go a long way to offer tailor-made products to the consumer.
Under his stewardship, Asian Paints transformed into India's largest paint manufacturer by value and market share.
Every crisis can be converted into an opportunity, provided one keeps innovating and builds a good team that translate and implement the result of this successfully. Our team managed to come off with flying colors.
A technocrat and constant innovator, proud of his indigenous technology, yet flexible enough to understand the forces of globalization. Today, Asian Paints is Asia's third and the world's 9th largest paint company, for turning an early Make in India company into a multinational giant. CNBC-TV18 India Business Leader Awards proudly present the Lifetime Achievement of the Year Award.
Please
to
put your
Ashwin
hands
Dani.
together for Ashwin Dani, and to receive the award is the man himself. Please welcome Ashwin Dani, the Non-Executive Director of Asian Paints.
Louder round of applause is called for. It's one of the best India has created. I'll give it to you in a minute, sir. Mr. Ashwin Dani, this is a proud achievement for all of India, not just for Mr. Ashwin Dani. And as I was just telling the finance minister, in 1997, that was the only time you came on air and spoke to the media. ICI tried to take over Asian Paints, and Asian Paints fought back. Today, the market cap of Asian Paints is greater than the market cap of ICI.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, of course, worldwide. So, Mr. Dani, the first thing is, why don't you take over a global paint company? Why don't you pay back ICI in the same coins?
Well, I must say that India has its own heritage and its own taste for paints. And the very reason why we succeeded in India is because when I entered the paint industry, amongst us top 7 paint companies, Asian Paint was the only Indian company. All other 6 companies were British. And nobody wanted to give us the technology at that time. And our then chairman told me, Ashwin, there is no other alternative but to be Atmanirbhar.
Yeah.
But to be Atmanirbhar at that time. And that is where in first 20 years, I've touched Bandu factory in the morning at 8:30 and developed the kind of products. And I must thank the training I got at UDCT, part of Bombay University, and then I went to Akron for further advanced studies, and not preferring to join IIMA in 65, having got an admission and paid fees. Would any of the youngsters would do in today's time? No. Because MBA is so deeply embedded, and if you ask me, in every industry, first thing is you must achieve certain level of technology first, and then only you can apply any norms of management. And that is what at least I practiced, and I am very happy and proud. And today, if you combine the sale of number 2, number 3, number 4 paint company together, they cannot match our sales.
Absolutely. I think this is a great lesson from a teacher to all the youngsters. Don't jump into MBA first, work, and then do your MBA. So there are many more startups over here, as you see. We have honored them. What is your message to the startup? How do they get to become Asian Paints?
Well, one thing I must say that I think the way of doing business has changed completely in the recent times. And digital technology has come at such a speed and such a short span of time. But believe it or not, Asian Paint was the first company among all Indian companies, forget about paint. We had a mainframe computer as back as 1973. Wow. And we rented out one shift from Godrej at night in 72 so that we could use the computer for all three shifts, because computer was very, very expensive, and we were a relatively small company. We could not afford the expense of digital computer mainframe at that time. But within a year, we had a gold medalist from IIMA for first 12 years. We used to write our own software. And even I had taken the first course on computers when I went for my master's in 66 at Akron, because it was an undergraduate course. I did not get credit for that, for doing my master's. But I said I have come to this country not only for learning paint technology, but I want to learn what about the computer animal is. And I was very happy when I came back in 68. Besides paint formulation, I also concentrated in the implementation of computers, and you ask any computer manufacturer in India, they would be very, very proud to sell first computer to us.
Wow. Many congratulations, sir. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, sir. Ms. Daruwala, thank you very much for doing the honors. And for the next award, may I now request Mr. Prasun Joshi, Chairman McCann World Group, Asia Pacific CEO and CCO McCann World Group India, to please join us on stage.
Well, moving on, in the age of skip ad options available online, thankfully not on TV yet, our next set of nominees managed to stir up emotions and make a place in the heart of millions of viewers. Our next award category tonight is Brand Campaign of the Year. Let's take a look at the nominees.
In the category Brand Campaign of the Year, and the nominees are Cred, Mondelez, not just Cadbury ad, Mondelez, hashtag Good Luck Girls, Dove, Bhima.
And the winner is...
When cutting-edge technology becomes the basis for clutter-breaking advertising. When machine learning unleashes the magic of ideas. And when a global superstar encourages the spirit of generosity.
We felt that was a great opportunity where we really could do something with our brand, which is beyond just sell more of our product. Stand for something, be more purposeful.
A new brand of advertising is born.
हमारे आसपास की जो दुकानें हैं, उनकी दिवाली भी तो मीठी होनी चाहिए.
The COVID pandemic hit local retailers hard, but Mondelez decided to turn calamity into creative cohesion.
At the heart of the idea are three technologies. There's the Google Maps API, which helped us do the hyperlocal targeting. Then the YouTube Director Mix at the heart of it, which helped us do the dynamic creative deployment. Last being the pin code targeting capabilities which sit within YouTube.
Geo-positioning systems became bridges between customers and local retailers. And artificial intelligence recreated SRK's natural charm many times over. The result? An epic campaign that lifted spirits and boosted business for thousands of local retailers.
The best reward was when a Cadbury shopkeeper very proudly tells me, "Mere bagal wala dukaan mere ad mein."
For lighting up Diwali for small stores around India, and for ushering a new era of technology-facing advertising. CNBC-TV18, India Business Leader Awards, proudly presents the Brand Campaign of the Year Award to Mondelez for their Not Just a Cadbury ad.
Well, congratulations to Mondelez for their campaign, Not Just a Cadbury ad. And receiving the award is Anil Vishwanathan, Senior Director Marketing, Mondelez India.
I think the question to Anil should come from Prasun Joshi himself.
Well, you have always been reinventing yourself. Do you take pride in the fact that you have never stayed out of context as a company? I've been watching, I've worked on your brands earlier. So how does it feel, and how does Cadbury's do it time and again?
I mean, it's just a legacy. I think it's a legacy that we've built over the years. Lots of people have worked on the brand, and we proudly call ourselves an Indian MNC. So it's a brand that's touched the life of millions of people. So I think because of the legacy of the brand, we've just been able to build on it, and we have a great ecosystem of agency partners who understand the brand so well, and that's how we've created these ideas. We hope to do our small bit to help people around us, to spread a little bit of generosity. Thank you.
Well, you did your bit for Women's Day as well. I think the legendary ad campaign "Kya Swad Hai Zindagi Ka" deserves a round of applause as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, moving on now from TV screens to the big screens, shall we? It's time now to present the next award for the evening, the Entertainment Leader of the Year. And here are the nominees.
In the category Entertainment Leader of the Year, and the nominees are Fahad Fazil, Dhanush, Manoj Bajpayee, Taapsee Pannu.
And the Entertainment Leader of the Year award goes to...
Her rise in the entertainment industry has been more steady than stratospheric. Now, there's no holding her back.
From there to here, it has been a long, tedious journey, so I don't want to take it easy now when I finally achieved it.
Her versatility makes her a darling of the critics. Her talent guarantees box office success.
It's not about having the maximum screen time, it's about doing something that's not done before kind of a feeling.
This firebrand feminist is bold about her film choices.
Making most of whatever opportunity I get with whatever resources I have in hand, that has given me whatever success I have gotten. I didn't think about my eventual destination, I started enjoying the journey.
And outspoken about issues she cares about.
Whenever I've done hard work, it has been noticed, appreciated, acknowledged by people who just reacted to the kind of work I did without thinking about the family I came from, the background I came from.
For a trailblazing journey from a software engineer to supermodel to actor par excellence.
If this is the reaction I'll get for the hard work I do, it's really worth pushing the envelope every time.
CNBC-TV18, India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the Entertainment Leader of the Year Award to Taapsee Pannu.
Taapsee, in your honor, we all wore pink. Falguni also wore pink. Shireen is in pink. And ma'am also is in pink. So we all decided to celebrate the values that you have brought onto celluloid. Well, there are a zillion questions I want to ask you, but what role would you best now like to play? You've taken a lot of pro-women roles. What's the next role? Nirmala Sitharaman?
Are you ready for that? I am. I would love to. It will be an honor, of course, but if ma'am gives a chance to.
Spectacular, right?
Of course it is, it is. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. There is, I really haven't pinned on that eventual destination, as I mentioned in the AV as well. I just enjoyed the journey, hence the walkover from being an engineer to model to now an actor. It was not really planned. I just enjoyed the journey and I lived instead of surviving. I think that's what got me here. And if that's one role that I'm looking forward to, that's coming up next. I hope I live up to that, Mithali. That's been the toughest so far. So yeah, I'm very nervous about it.
We'll see Taapsee Pannu as Mithali Raj very soon. Taapsee, it's a pleasure. Just a final quick question. Is the is the film industry as fair to women as it is to men?
We are better off now, but Delhi abhi bahut dur hai. That's all I'll say.
Soon noted, I guess, for the next film.
Congratulations, Taapsee. Mr. Joshi, thank you very much for doing the honors. With that, let's move on to the next category for the evening. It's the Outstanding Contribution to Brand India. And here's a look at the nominees.
In the category Outstanding Contribution to Brand India, and the nominees are Adar Poonawala, Neeraj Chopra, Baiju Ravindran, Geeta Gopinath, Dr. Soumya Swaminathan, Mithali Raj.
And here's a look at the winner.
On 7th August 2021, a young boy from Punjab immortalized himself in the history of Indian sports.
कोई ज़्यादा सोचा नहीं था और बस अपना मैंने पूरे दिल से खेला और गोल्ड जीता.
India's first ever Olympic gold medal winner in track and field is also a junior commissioned officer in the Rajputana Rifles. His mantra for scaling the pinnacle of success is deceptively simple.
सबसे पहले ट्रेनिंग है, ट्रेनिंग के बाद कंपटीशन आते.
Now he hopes his golden achievement unearths another hidden gem. Commonwealth gold, Asian Games gold, and now an Olympic champion. It's been an incredible journey for this Dronacharya Khel Ratna and Padma Shri awardee.
मैं मानता हूँ कि ये ओलंपिक जो भी है ये कोई एक दिन की ऐसी बात नहीं थी, इसके पीछे बहुत ही साल और बहुत लोगों की मेहनत इसके साथ है.
For flying India's flag with pride on the biggest sporting stage of them all.
आपने बहुत बड़ा कमाल करके दिया और ये मेहनत के कारण होता है. मैंने देखा कि आपके चेहरे में एकदम कॉन्फिडेंस था.
And for bringing home a gold that's priceless. CNBC-TV18 India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the outstanding contribution to Brand India Award
Ladies
to
and gentlemen,
Chopra.
Please put your hands together for Neeraj Chopra. Unfortunately, he couldn't be present here with us this evening due to other commitments, but he has sent us a message. Have a look.
Standard Chartered presents India Business Leadership Awards in partnership with Hindustan Times.
नमस्ते, मैं नीरज चोपड़ा. पूरे CNBC TV18 की टीम को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मुझे इस अवार्ड से सम्मानित करने के लिए. और मैं हमेशा कोशिश करता रहूँगा कि देश के लिए और मेडल्स लेके आता रहूँ और ऐसे खुशी के पल लेके आता रहूँ. और जब मैं वर्ल्ड जूनियर खेला था और वहाँ पे वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड किया, तब मुझे पता लगा था कि हाँ, हम इंडियंस भी, भारतीय भी कुछ कर सकते हैं वर्ल्ड में. तो बस यही कोशिश रहती है कि हमेशा जब भी मैं फील्ड पे जाऊँ तो कुछ अच्छा करूँ और अपने देश को प्राउड फील कराऊँ. और इस सब परफॉर्मेंस से और मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हाँ, आने वाले टाइम में जो भी हम स्पोर्ट्स को आगे लेके जा रहे हैं, सभी खिलाड़ी मिलके या हमारे लोग भी उसको हेल्प कर रहे हैं, तो आने वाले टाइम मुझे लगता है हम और अच्छा करेंगे और अपने देश को प्राउड फील कराएंगे. थैंक यू.
Well, congratulations.
India Business Leadership Awards in partnership with Hindustan Times.
Well, congratulations to Neeraj, and he's not here, but receiving the award on his behalf is Mustafa Gauss. Sir, may we please have you on stage.
Well, for the next award, may I invite back on stage Tapsi Pannu. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to make a special mention to a personality who has made an outstanding contribution to Brand India through her numerous achievements.
Well, Mithali Raj, even though she doesn't require any introduction, we're still going to give her one. She is the Test and ODI captain of India's women's national cricket team. As India's greatest female batter, Mithali Raj has reached milestones aplenty in her storied international career spanning more than 2 decades.
Mithali is also the first Indian cricketer to go past the 10,000 run landmark in women's international cricket. She is also the first player to score 7 consecutive 50s in the ODIs. Raj also holds the record for the most half centuries in women's one-day international. I request Mithali Raj to come on stage to receive her award. A big round of applause for her.
Mithali ji, anything you want to say? Tapsi wants to play Mithali's role.
I've done it. She's done it. She's put in a lot of hard work in that role, and I've seen some of her videos that she tried to ape the way I play, very close. Just thank you to CNBC TV18 for conferring me with this honor, and I find myself today evening in the august company of Honorable Finance Minister, India's first women finance minister, ma'am. You're an embodiment of empowerment and the very picture of inspiration, and the other leaders from the financial world. I have to thank Shaheen for inviting me. I was in 2 minds, honestly, to turn for this event because the last couple of days I've been sulking, wallowing because Indian team was out of the knockouts. So, but then I think I've made a good decision to turn out to this evening. Inspiration is what I needed, a room full of leaders, and thank you very much for having me here. Have a very good evening.
Well, congratulations. Tapsi, thank you very much for doing the honors. Mithali, can I request you to please stay back on stage for the next award as well? And with that, the next award for the evening is the Sports Leader of the Year Award. And here are the nominees.
In the category Sports Leader of the Year, and the nominees are Neeraj Chopra, Sumit Antil, Lavlina Borgohain, Avni Lekhara, Ravi Dhaya.
And the winner of the Sports Leader of the Year award goes to...
She knows no boundaries, no limits, except the ones she's broken beyond.
I'm very happy. I'm so grateful and elated. I feel like I'm on top of the world.
Ever since an accident in 2012 damaged her spinal cord, her life has not been ordinary. Because Avni Lekhara doesn't do the ordinary.
Shooting means a lot. Like by shooting, I can inspire a lot of people who are not sure if they can do something just because of any physical or mental issues.
Inspired by Abhinav Bindra's journey to Olympic success, Avni began shooting for the stars. And at Tokyo 2021,
एक खिलाड़ी दुनिया के किसी कोने में हाथ में तिरंगा लेकर के दौड़ता है, सारे हिंदुस्तान में ऊर्जा भर देता है.
this budding law graduate not only emulated her idol's gold medal victory, but doubled up and went one better.
I'd like to dedicate my medals to all the citizens of India. This is ours.
At the young age of 21, Avni is already a proud recipient of the Padma Shri and the Khel Ratna Awards. For defying fate and converting adversity into ambition, CNBC-TV18 India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the Sports Leader of the Year Award to Avni Lekhara.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Avni Lekhara. Unfortunately, she couldn't be here with us this evening, but she did send us a message.
Standard Chartered presents India Business Leadership Awards in partnership with Hindustan Times.
I would like to thank CNBC-TV18 and India Business Leader Awards for honoring me with Sports Leader of the Year Award. It is so motivating to see people recognizing para sports, and with this award we are moving towards more inclusivity and towards a successful path for India. This is giving me a lot of motivation to do more for my country in future. Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations to Avni, and receiving the award on her behalf is Sarvesh Kedia. Sir, can we please have you on stage?
Well, thank you, Mithali, and congratulations once again. Well, the year 2021 saw us bidding goodbye to our favorite personalities who breathed their last. Now it's time for us to honor and pay our humble tribute to these visionaries, to these legends and geniuses of their respective fields who have not only inspired the whole nation, but have set examples for millions to follow in the coming times. Let's have a look at this year's In Memoriam inductees.
2021 was a brutal year. Last year, India lost some of our favorite sons. Men who inspired India's collective imagination with their individual brilliance, and warriors who made us proud with their courage and wisdom in the line of fire. These were pioneers who paved the way for future generations of dreamers and doers.
If you're not willing to accept those bumps in the road and do something about it at the right time, you're not going to have big success.
And superstars who captivated our hearts and minds with their incredible genius. The trailblazers are no longer with us. But the force of their personalities, the heroic scale of their achievements, and the respect they commanded will never ever be forgotten.
जब 56 में मैंने लैंड किया इंडिया में दिल्ली के अंदर तो मैंने धरती माता की कसम खाई कि जब तक मैं वर्ल्ड का रिकॉर्ड नहीं तोड़ लूंगा तब तक मैं आराम से नहीं बैठूंगा.
For their invaluable contribution, we celebrate them because their lives brought joy to millions of Indians the world over. For bringing glory to the nation, the India Business Leader Awards honors the men whose deeds will live forever. In Memoriam, Milkha Singh, General Bipin Rawat, Dilip Kumar and Naren Gupta.
Well, unfortunately, the relatives of Naren Gupta, General Bipin Rawat and Dilip Kumar were unable to make it this evening, but accepting the award on behalf of Milkha Singh, please welcome on stage his daughter, Sonia Sanvalka. Well, it's an absolute pleasure to remember and honor these legends. Well, Lata, thank you very much for doing the honors this evening. And before we move on to the next set of awards, let me invite on stage Shireen Bhan and Uday Kotak, Executive Vice Chairman and Managing Director, Kotak Mahindra Bank, to present the award for Hall of Fame. So this year, we'll be inducting not one, but two legends into the India Business Leader Awards Hall of Fame. Here's a look at the first inductee of the evening.
For more than 5 decades, A.M. Naik has helped build L&T and brand India into a global force to be reckoned with.
My objective was to use L&T as a platform to serve the nation. Primary objective was how am I useful to the nation.
The company's heavy engineering and manufacturing facility in Hazira is the 3rd largest in the world, and a centre of Indian innovation and global excellence in the defence and security sector.
I always believed that devotion, passion, conviction and commitment, if you don't have, you can't build an outstanding organization. I have followed this all my life.
Today, L&T is present in over 50 countries, and over 1/3 of their revenue comes from overseas markets.
I hope I continue to do something more and more and more as long as I'm alive.
Now, the staunch nationalist is bringing his pioneering zeal to philanthropy. But it is for his unique qualities as a business leader that make A.M. Naik a giant among equals. For being a behemoth in the business industry in India and the world, CNBC-TV18 India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the Hall of Fame Award to A.M. Naik.
Well, please put your hands together for the first inductee of the 17th edition of the India Business Leader Awards Hall of Fame, A.M. Naik, the Group Chairman of Larsen & Toubro Group, who has demonstrated outstanding leadership in the corporate world over the years. Now, unfortunately, Mr. Naik couldn't be here with us tonight, but he has recorded a special message for us this evening. Take a look.
Standard Chartered presents India Business Leadership Awards in partnership with Hindustan Times.
I'm delighted. I have been working throughout 15 hours a day, primarily with L&T platform to serve the nation, and of late, more so involved in philanthropic and societal work and charity. So, I need to be pushed further. And when I get an award like this, in the fame of hall with other much senior, and when I am selected to be in the hall of the fame with people who have made a difference to our country, I am really getting motivation and inspiration. What more can I do?
Standard Chartered presents India Business Leadership Awards in partnership with Hindustan Times.
Well, to receive the award, please welcome S.N. Subramanian, CEO and MD, Larsen & Toubro.
Mr. Subramanian.
Thank you. I'm sure he'll be delighted, happy, and absolutely proud to have received this award from CNBC-18, decided by a great set of jury, and of course a fantastic set of people from CNBC. As you've seen in the film, he has positioned L&T as India's largest private sector in aerospace, defense, nuclear, high-tech engineering, and heavy engineering. Lots of things to be done. Moreover, of late, he's put his mind to philanthropy through the M. Naik and Nirali Trust. He spends a lot of time on social activities, especially on skilling, education, and health, and such other services. An utopian of a man, a humongous man, and I'm humbled by the fact that I could receive this award from none other than the gracious Finance Minister of our country, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman. Thank you very much, CNBC.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much and congratulations once again. Well, from one legend to another, please put your hands together for the man who lived by the dictum that integrity and character matter the most, and his contribution for putting the Indian industry on the world map will forever remain unparalleled. Joining Mr. Naik on this year's Hall of Fame prestige is
a larger-than-life figure whose persona illuminated Indian business for over 5 decades. Rahul Bajaj enriched the idea of India as an industrial powerhouse that could match the best in the world. Born into a family of freedom fighters, his expression of nationalism came through his institution building, varied businesses, and giving back to society.
I am all for equality of opportunity, but I believe in that philosopher who said the biggest inequality of all is trying to make unequals into equal.
The iconic Hamara Bajaj slogan for various Bajaj two-wheelers will forever be etched in the minds of at least 2 generations of Indians.
Hamara Bajaj, Hamara Bajaj.
A rare businessman who spoke truth to power, Rahul Bajaj was honoured with the Padma Bhushan in 2001 for steering his business with a rare sensitivity towards his people and his country, and for putting the average Indian on 2 motorized wheels. CNBC-TV18, India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the Hall of Fame Award to Rahul Bajaj.
And to receive the award, please welcome Mr. Rahul Bajaj's son, Sanjeev Bajaj, and his daughter, Sunaina Kejriwal.
Start with deepest condolence to you and your family, Sanjeev. A towering figure and a monumental loss. Just a few words from you.
You know, if he was here, he'd probably say, what is this Hall of Fame? It's for oldies, not young people like him. But on his behalf, my brother Rajiv is not here, but Rajiv, Sunaina, and I, and our family members who are here, thank CNBC, the jury, Madam Finance Minister, for this award. He stood for courage, for confidence, and compassion. And everything he stood for was India first. Of course, through a business leader's eyes. That's what we are all proud for. That's what we try to emulate. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sanjeev, and thank you very much, Sunaina, for joining us here this evening.
Thank you and congratulations once again. CNBC-TV18 is indeed humbled to induct A.M. Naik and Rahul Bajaj into the India Business Leader Awards Hall of Fame.
Well, with that, it's time now to unveil the Outstanding Company of the Year. And here are the nominees.
In the category Outstanding Company of the Year, and the nominees are Wipro, HDFC Life, Hindustan Unilever Limited, Divis, Britannia.
Well, this is a big one. Let's take a look at the winner for this category.
Every day, 9 out of 10 Indians are touched by them. Their products are our habits. For more than 85 years, they've grown with India and nourished our lives. Now, they want to nourish our planet.
Truel is a purpose-driven and a values-led organization.
India's largest FMCG company is transitioning from consumption to consciousness. By 2025, HUL will save more than 1 lakh tons of virgin plastic. In 5 years, all their packaging will become either recyclable, reusable, or renewable.
I can tell you that in the next 2 years, the HUL of tomorrow will be starkly different from the HUL what you saw 5 years back.
And by reinventing their processes, HUL is reimagining India.
While halving our environmental footprint and simultaneously increasing or improving our social and economic impact.
For putting the environment before economics and equating sustainability to success. CNBC-TV18, India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the Outstanding Company of the Year Award to Hindustan Unilever Limited.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for Sanjeev Mehta, Chairman and MD, Hindustan Unilever Limited.
Congratulations, Sanjeev. You told me when we last met at the SBI conclave that Mr. Khara organized that the HUL of today is going to be very different from the HUL of the next 5 years. How much of the work has already been done to get to that point?
You know, first and foremost, let me thank CNBC-TV18, the jury, for this honor. And it's a special honor when this is handed over by Madam Finance Minister. To your question, Shireen, you know, we have been reimagining and reinventing ourselves. And it's a journey, not a destination. Having said that, we firmly believe that we have to live with the times, with the changing times, the changing societal expectations. And our endeavor is to make every Indian proud of Hindustan Unilever.
We are already proud of Hindustan Unilever and maybe all be prouder. Thank you very much, Sanjeev Mehta, and congratulations once again.
Well, I'm sure there were a lot of people taking pictures. Please do upload them on social media and use our hashtag Leaders of Change. And finally, as we draw this event to a close, here's the final award for tonight.
The next award, ladies and gentlemen, is for the Outstanding Business Leader of the Year. And here are the nominees.
In the category Outstanding Business Leader of the Year, and the nominees are Kiran Divi, Adar Poonawala, N. Chandrasekharan, C. Vijay Kumar, Sanjeev Mehta.
And the winner of the Outstanding Business Leader of the Year award goes to...
In early 2020, the COVID pandemic locked down the world. As nations grappled with a disease that had no cure, one man decided to unlock India's manufacturing potential.
There were so many challenges that we went through, from finding the right partner, manufacturing at risk, raising capital to be able to afford and build these facilities ahead of time.
Today, Adar Poonawala Serum Institute has produced more than 1.9 billion COVID vaccine doses. And its vaccines are used in 70 countries globally. 85% of their revenue comes from overseas markets.
We bet on some very good scientists. We bet on a partnership that we had with them on the malaria vaccine. We bet on a technology that was relatively easier than others to scale up. That's why we've been able to contribute largely to the vaccination program, not only in India but globally.
For helping to build our first line of defense against the COVID pandemic in record time, and for making the world a safer place to live in. CNBC-TV18, India Business Leader Awards proudly presents the Outstanding Business Leader of the Year Award to Adar Poonawala.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outstanding business leader of the year, Adar Poonawala, CEO, Serum Institute of India.
Adar, what a last 2 years it's been, and I would imagine it's been far from easy for you. But hopefully the pandemic is behind us, fingers crossed. What next for Serum?
Firstly, thank you, Shireen. Thank you, Honorable Finance Minister, for being here. I couldn't have done this alone. Firstly, thank you so much, CNBC-TV18, for this tremendous honor. All the Serum staff, the workers who have worked tirelessly, working through the night, matching my speed and unrealistic expectations to do all this in record time, which was needed. My father, who has given me the freedom to operate and has always backed me in everything that I wanted to do. My wife and partner, who's given me the courage and the wisdom to do what's right for me personally and for the company, without which I wouldn't be here today. The countless government officials, the bureaucrats, the ministers, the ministries, Health Ministry, Drug Controller's Office, ICMR, Department of Pharmaceuticals, the list goes on. Never have I ever witnessed collaboration in such a manner between government and private sector. And thanks to Prime Minister Modi's leadership, and I don't just say this because Madam Minister is here, he really got us all together to work in record time, getting approvals and support and whatever it is that we needed, raw materials, the list goes on. So we must thank and acknowledge that, and most importantly also, dedicate this, and I dedicate this award also to the countless healthcare workers that lost their lives in the line of duty, and we must never forget their sacrifice. Without none of this would have been possible. So I really owe this, we all really owe this to them. Thank you for that. And sorry, Shireen, what was your question? What next? I think, we'll just continue building on this momentum. And my only prayer from the government also to support the speed at which we were able to do things. The speed of doing business is, I think, as important as ease of doing business. And we saw that during this pandemic, and we witnessed that it is possible. And, with competition, madam, also from China and South Korea, even the African continent, which is now looking at investing to compete with India's, pharmaceutical industry, we really must continue this momentum. So I just hope to build on this success and hope this industry will continue leading India globally as well. Thank you, Shay.
Thank you very much, Adar. Congratulations to you, your team, and thank you very much for joining us here this evening.
Well, congratulations. But before we call it an evening, let me request all the winners, all the presenters, and the jury members who are here to please join us on stage for a group photo opportunity.
And at this moment, I'd also like to thank our partners, presenting sponsor Standard Chartered, and our print partner, Hindustan Times.
Ms. Daruwala, can I please request you to join us on stage, please? Mr. Kotak?
Sir, the jury has to be here.
Well, that brings us to the end of the 17th edition of CNBC-TV18's India Business Leader Awards. Thank you all very, very much for being such a wonderful audience.
And do keep the social media posts going using our hashtag Leaders of Change and hashtag CNBC-TV18 IBLA. And do visit CNBC-TV18.com for all the latest news, analysis and trends about the stock markets, business news and the economy. Until next time, goodbye and good night.
And ladies and gentlemen, the bar is now open, so please do join us for drinks and dinner.